9,300, 12,000, 17,000, 8,700. This is where things really start getting exciting and it keeps going up. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much you can make as a real estate agent. What's going on, everybody? My name is Cody Steck. I've been in the real estate business for 5.5 years now, and I have learned a ton. I'm going to show you exactly how much you can make, including when I close the deals, how much I made on that, and how much you can possibly make in real estate as well. We're going to be talking about everything you need to know in this video. We're going to talk about how the brokerages pay out their commissions. We're going to talk about team splits. We're going to be talking about some things that I wish I would have done differently and what I know now and what I'll do going forward. So if you're new to the channel here, you may or may not know that I've been in the real estate business for 5.5 years. I've grown my business strictly from the YouTube platform here, making these types of videos. Now, this isn't on this channel here particularly, but I run another channel on YouTube talking about what it's like to live, eat, sleep, work, and play here in my local area. People who are moving to my area will find my videos and they'll reach out to me and say, hey, Cody, I need to buy a house. Can you please help me make that transition? So we're going to talk all about that and everything you need to know when we get to that point. But first, I want to cover some of the basics, because if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that maybe you're not in real estate yet, or two, you've already gotten your real estate license, but you're questioning how much exactly you can make in the real estate business. So the first thing I want to cover is how real estate agents actually get paid. Well, typically the real estate agent is going to get paid by the seller. The seller is agreeing to pay for the commission on behalf of their agent that they're hiring, as well as the agent that is going to represent the buyer of the home. Now, this can vary, but the way that it's really broken down is that the seller is agreeing to pay for the seller's agent, and then the seller's agent is agreeing to split that commission with the buyer's agent. So what this means in practice is that if the buyer comes in and doesn't have their own agent, that seller's agent is entitled to keep the full commission. It doesn't technically go back to the seller, unless of course they work something out after the fact. This does happen, and there can be any variation of that scenario when you're selling real estate. So the important thing to note is that commissions are totally variable. They can vary from deal to deal. They vary from brokerage to brokerage. They vary how they get paid even. In probably the most common scenario, the seller will agree to pay 6% commission. That means that the seller's agent is going to take 3%, and then the buyer's agent will take 3% as well. However, sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes the seller's agent may take 3.5% and only give 2.5% to the buyer. Maybe they'll offer 3.5% to the buyer. It totally depends. It depends on what the total commission is, what type of service is being provided, and how much they actually want to pay to the buyer's agent. All right, so now that we've talked a little bit about that, let's talk about how the brokerage actually gets paid and how that translates into you as the real estate agent getting paid. Well, typically in these situations, the brokerage is going to be the one that gets paid, and then the brokerage pays you as the agent representing the client. And typically the brokerage is going to keep some percentage of that total commission that you actually receive. And this number can vary drastically. Some brokerages will keep as much as 50% of the total commission. Other times they're going to keep 30%, 20%, maybe they only keep $500 off of every single deal. It just totally depends what brokerage you're with and how many services or training or other opportunities they're offering for you to be a part of that brokerage, right? Typically, if they're taking a higher percentage, that means that they're offering you more services. If they're taking a lower percentage, you're basically on your own. So for me in my current setup, I'm actually only paying $560 per closed transaction, which is a very small amount that the brokerage actually takes. So in exchange for that, I get a little bit of training, I get them to process my paperwork, and they provide errors and omissions insurance. But it wasn't always like that. When I started out, I was at a brokerage who was taking 30% off of every single deal that I had. Typically, these brokerages will have a cap so that after you've paid them a certain amount of money, sometimes it's $12,000, $15,000, $18,000, $21,000 per year, that will cap out, and then they just have a smaller transaction fee after that. So the brokerage commission structure can vary. Next, we need to talk about teams. In addition to having the brokerage level at the very top, you can have teams underneath that you will work on under for additional training, additional guidance, and most commonly, they'll actually provide you leads who are supposed to, eventually, hopefully turn into business. So working under a team structure can be an additional commission split after that as well. So you may pay a little bit to the brokerage, and you may pay some money to the team as well. Typically, these teams will take anywhere from 70%, maybe 50%, maybe 30% on the low end, again, depending on how much training they offer, how many leads they offer, what the quality of the leads are, and what other services and opportunities they're going to give you for you being a part of their team. All right, so now that you know a little bit about how the brokerage and team structures work, as well as commissions and what those numbers generally are, well, let's jump into the tracker where I'm going to show you exactly how much I've made starting from the very beginning. I'm going to show you how long it took me to get started, what I made on each individual deal, and you'll be able to see the progress that I made over the years to see my income increase year after year after year. So with that said, let's jump over. All right. right, so jumping right into this, I'm going to be covering exactly when I close these deals and how much I actually got paid. Now, this is the gross commission that's coming to me, so it's not accounting for any expenses or taxes or anything like that. This is after any team or brokerage splits I did have to pay though. So I'm going to jump in right here on 2015. You can see that I closed my very first deal on June 19th. I actually got my license just at the beginning of April, so it took me about 2.5 months before I closed my very first deal. I jumped onto a team at Century 21, which was the brokerage, and started working right away. This team was providing leads to me each and every day that I was able to call on, and then basically try to sell them on my services to help them purchase a house. So coming over here, you can see that that very first deal, I made $2,398. Not too great for 2.5 months of work, right? After that, it took another 3 months before I was able to close my next deal, which came in at $2,996. A month after that, $1,680. A month after that, or 2 months after that, $2,300. So I had a couple deals right here at the end of the year that helped me close out the year at $15,673 for the year of 2015. Now for me, luckily, my expenses were very low at that time, so I was able to maintain this, and only making that much money wasn't I was able to get by. We'll just say that. So 2015, getting my teeth cut in the business, man, it was tough. It was a stressful time. It was hard only closing, 6 deals basically. One was a referral. The $600 one was a referral that I got. But I mean, really only closing 6 deals that first year was a little bit tough. Now, that's obviously not what everybody's going to do. Some people will close less. Some people will close more. I know many people who have closed, 20, 30, 40 deals their very first year. So it is possible. For me, I was only able to close 6 deals. So coming over here to 2016, this is when things really started to ramp up, and I started to see the power of the money that could be made in real estate. So you can see here that I had a couple closings in January. This is the sales volume. So this is what the sales price of the home was. And again, this is the column that shows how much I was actually making on these transactions. So you can see I had a couple closings in January, a couple in February, one in March, a couple in April, a couple in May, a couple in June. They were kind of spaced out here throughout the year. Sorry, these dates get a little bit mixed up, but you can see there's some in June here, July, August, quite a few in October. I didn't have any in September that year, and only one in December. So you can see that the numbers here are increasing quite a bit. So $605 for this is a small one. I only got paid a small percentage on that one, unfortunately, but then it increases $4,400, $2,200, $4,000, $3,400, $7,000 almost on this one. That was a great time for me because I was like, dang, that's a lot of work to put in for $7,000. I'm actually getting paid what I should be getting paid now. So again, then it drops back down, $3,200, $2,500, $2,600. It really just depends on where these leads were coming from and how much I had to pay the brokerage, as well as how much I had to pay the actual team for that year, for that deal. So this is how much I was making on each deal here. And you can see that with quite a few more deals, it actually added up to a pretty significant amount. This year, I did 21 transactions, and I was still on Century 21 on that same team. The thing with these leads that are coming in, a lot of times they're not ready to buy just this moment. A lot of people say, hey, I want to buy a house, but it's actually 3, 6, 9, maybe even 12 months down the road before they actually get to that point where they're ready to purchase. So there's a little bit of a lag time there, and that's why things really ramped up for that next year in 2016. So I had a total sales volume of about 5.3 million, and my gross commission income was 77,000. Not too bad. I had to pay taxes on that. I had some expenses with that as well, but I mean, I probably after I was all said and done, I made 50 grand. Not bad for my second year, being 22 years old and in this business. So coming down here, 2017, there's a couple gaps in here. This is my internal tracker, so it's a little bit messy. I haven't kept it super clean, but you'll see, again, everything's increasing here. So deals in January, 5,000, 4,500, 3,600, 2,500. This 400 was a referral. Coming down March, $4,500. So you can see that in some of these months, I was making pretty decent money, 5,000, 45, 36, 2,500. This is just in January. So just that month, I mean, I made, let's see, what is this? That's $15,800, in 1 month. And I've only been in the business for a year and a half. So that's the pretty crazy thing, right? But then again, in February, I only made $400. So there's a little bit of a gap there where, yeah, you can have a great month where you get paid a lot, but the next month you might not make, hardly anything if you don't close any deals that month. So again, you can see that it's increasing, 45, 54, 1,800, 6,000, and these numbers just keep kind of creeping up. as I started getting paid more, closing deals in a higher price range, and negotiating a better split with the company that I was at. So my average commission was about $4,800. Average sales price was about $275. I was at Berkshire Hathaway during this time on a team, like I said. Volume for the year was 8.2 million. I did 30 transactions that year, and I had a gross commission income of $128,000. Again, I still had to pay taxes. I still had some expenses on that, but we're well into the six-figure range here, and this is the second full year that I've been in the business. So that first year, 2015, I was only in the business for about, from April through the end of the year. So what is that, 8 months? And then 2016 and then 2017. So by the second full year in the business, 2017, 128 grand, well into the six-figure mark. So I do know some people who hit this in their very first year, which is awesome. For me, it took a little bit of time, and I think for most people, it probably will as well. One thing that I heard a famous real estate agent, you probably heard of him, his name's Ryan Serhant. He talks about, think about the first couple of years of real estate as kind of like getting a college degree or a master's degree or something. You're basically just cutting your teeth. You're trying to get familiar with the business and trying to figure out how this works. You're making connections, and you're just, setting everything in place so that you can see success in future years. So this is exactly what I was doing those first couple of years. I was just kind of getting by, wasn't making a whole lot of money. By this third year, it really picked up, and we're well into the six-figure mark. So this is the power of real estate. Let's jump into 2018, and this is where things really start getting exciting, and it keeps going up. So stay with me, guys. You'll see here again, I only closed one deal in January. $6,500, not bad, decent living there. No deals in February though. Didn't close anything in February. March, not great either, $2,600. I'm like, this is kind of getting stressful. But then again, April here, closed 3 deals for $12,600. So you have to really budget when it comes to real estate and how much you're making each month, because it will vary. You're going to have some good months, some bad months, and it's going to vary from time to time. So you'll see here, 3,000, 4,800, 6,000, 4,000. This was a big one for me. This is the biggest deal I'd ever done at that point, at least commission wise, $14,900 on just one single transaction, which was pretty insane. And at this time, I actually had gone out on my own and was building my own team at this point. I'd switched over to a Brokerage EXP for a couple of years, that's a whole nother video, so don't ask me about that. I'm no longer with them, but they've got they're well known in the business. So I had switched over there for a little bit, and you can see that I was out on my own now. So I wasn't paying a brokerage and I wasn't paying a team anymore. So even though these sales prices are the same, now I'm collecting that full commission because I don't need as much help. I don't need the leads. I don't need anything like that to be able to generate this business. So you can see that the numbers are really increasing here. So 6,000, 8,400, 7,200, 7,600, 8,000, 9,000, 800, so just in these last couple months, that was $47,000 in just a couple months there. So again, 30 deals that year. Gross commission income was $132,000, so not a whole lot more. Total sales volume was 6.3 million. So at this point, I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm closing enough deals to make a good living. Definitely awesome, but I want it to get even better. So my average commission went up $1,000 this year. For 2018, and was up to $5,800. 2019 keeps getting even better. So $6,800, $5,200, $7,000 here, $11,780. You can see the sales price was pretty low on this one, but it's because I was able to double end the transaction and collect both sides of the commission, kind of like we talked about before. This one is a little bit lower. This was a higher sales price, but only $4,400. Well, that's because it was family. I cut them a deal. So $4,400, $8,000, $11,000, 9,000, 11,000, 58, 14, 10,000. You can see that these numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger. And for the year of 2019, I made a switch to equity in February of that year, did 22 deals, average sales price of $319,000, and total sales volume of $7 million. Gross commission income $160,000, which is awesome. Had to pay taxes on that. So, after that's all said and done, pay some expenses, I'm clearing well into the six-figure range at this point. So that's super exciting. On top of this, I'm building rental properties. I'm doing everything on the side to help supplement that, basically. So this is where it gets really exciting. 2020 has been an amazing year for me, despite everything going on in the world. It's been absolutely phenomenal. One last thing here to point out, commission this year, again, $7,300. So you're going to see that your commission will increase over time as sales prices go up, also as you learn how to negotiate your commission a little bit better, and also as you have to get to a point where you stop paying for the brokerage or paying for the team, right? So 2020, man, this is crazy. This year is not quite over yet. We still got a couple months, so this number is going to go up. But through the end of October here, these are the numbers. So 9,300, 12,000, 17,000, 8,700, 10,000, $34,000 on one deal. This is $1 million house in a great area. Awesome client. By the way, if you guys are one of my clients watching this video, thank you so much. I've been so blessed to have you guys in my life and help me, provide this for me. These numbers may seem extremely high to a lot of you, but this is hard work, right? This has been 5 years in the making. This is putting yourself out there, getting uncomfortable, and just doing a ton of hard work. So this is really what it takes to succeed in this business, and you really reap the rewards because of it. So again, if you're one of my clients watching this, thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. So moving on here, again, July, 4,600, 22,000, 15,000, 8,600. So like just in this month of July, I mean, that was a $50,000 month. Pretty crazy. August was awesome as well. I mean, 10,000, 8,000, 13,000, 6,100, $38,000 month. September, $47,000 month, right? You can see that number down here, adds them all up for you. October's been crazy as well. Already $39,000 in October. So that brings the total year to date. Average commission, $12,000. Average sales price, $470,000. Total gross commission income of $266,000. I'm blown away, guys. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to be in this place. I'm absolutely so grateful to have had this opportunity. But more importantly, I want to just show you guys what's possible. And this isn't a time for me to brag about how much money I've been able to make or anything, but just show you what's possible if you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you stick with something. Real estate sales is so hard. 9 out of 10 agents are going to fail out of the business in just a couple of years. That's why you hear so many people say, oh, I'm getting into real estate, and then they never make it, right? They fall out and never make it. But this is to show you that even though I closed less deals this year, 22 deals, because I'm closing homes at such a higher price range, I'm making more money. And a lot of these deals are coming from YouTube, actually. So that's a whole nother story for another video. But, it's crazy what you can make in real estate. These are the numbers to show you what's possible and what's doable in the real estate industry. So guys, that wraps up this video here. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post a ton of videos about making money, about real estate, about investing in real estate sales, passive income, everything like that. So if you want to learn more, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see all my future videos. Give me a thumbs up here on the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.